Hello guys, today I'm going to be showing you guys the fans running as of May 23rd, 2026. I have a lot of nostalgia going on in this house. Here in the living room I have fans everywhere. Start here. This is of course we gotta include this Galaxy blue bladed fan because this is a very nostalgic fan for me at this time of year where school is almost over. This is the blue bladed Galaxy fan from 1980. This has always been a very nostalgic fan. I remember the distinctive sound those blades made, and to me that was the sound of summer of 2014 approaching, which was a very exciting time period for me, and kind of a sad one too, because I really liked my kindergarten year. But this was the sound of the school year ending and off the summer for me. So I'm glad to have this fan in my possession 10 years after my kindergarten year. I got this fan 2 years ago at a garage sale for $15, which $15, that's a little pricey for one of these in my opinion, but that's not the most I pay for one of these. Anyway, I have that fan going. It's super powerful but economical to run. Over here, I have a Manning Bowman Model 51 in here. This thing has always been another nostalgic fan. I mean, not as nostalgic, but it does carry some nostalgia to it. This one is nostalgic to me because back in a couple days before I started my freshman year in high school, I remember I've always wanted this fan in that antique store, but my mom was telling me it's too expensive. That was that same antique store that had the Superior electric fan that wasn't a very good fan, as it was too buzzy to even use. So my mother, after hearing that noise, my mother agreed to let me have the Manning Bowman fan, even though it was the most expensive one in the store. I believe it was $54, which now as an adult I would not be paying $54 for this fan, especially because this fan's oscillation doesn't work. I mean, thankfully it's easy enough to 3D print a new one, so it's not really a big deal at all. Over the summer, I'm going to make it a mission to fix the oscillator in this fan now that I have a 3D printer now. Over here, I have a Lasko Galaxy fan with the amber blades from 1987. This fan has a lot of nostalgia as well. This is I've seen this fan a lot in different stores and different family members' homes, and I remember I've always wanted one of these since I started my fan collecting journey. But thankfully, about a decade after that hobby, I was able to find one. I got this fan for $6 3 years ago, and I remember at first my mother didn't want me to get this fan, but after some puppy dog look that I made, she said, "Fine, you can have it." So, yeah, of course, I've had this fan for about 3 years now, and I've had some great use out of this, and I think this is another phenomenal fan in my collection. It's super powerful, but not very expensive to run, and it's going to last for decades on end. Over here, I have a gray-bladed Galaxy fan. This is from 1988. Unfortunately, I paid a pretty hefty price for this. I paid $30, which I know it was a very expensive price, but I got it because I really wanted to get the gray bladed 12-inch Galaxy fan for my collection. And after all, $30 is not a bad price when you... I mean, thinking of eBay, $30 is not a bad price for this at all. Because with eBay, not only do you have shipping fees, but you likely have dishonest sellers and shipping damage and all that other nonsense that carries with eBay. Not to mention the prices on those are likely 5 to 15 times of what the fan is actually worth. So, but anyway, this fan's another very powerful but not expensive to run. All these Lasko Galaxies with the PSC motors are really quite efficient. These are some of my favorite fans ever because they're super quiet, super powerful, super efficient, and move a lot of air. That's nothing to be said about the fans made today. Here in the living room, I have a ceiling fan. This is the Craftmade CXL from 1999. And it works very well in here. It pushes over 7,000 CFM. It's just a fantastic fan, in my opinion. Craftmade was a higher end brand. But I don't know how much this would have costed back in the 90s, but it's a really good fan, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was a fairly high number. Here in the kitchen area, I have a 2006 or 2007 Halms 2 Cool. This is another nostalgic fan. It's because I got this for free out of my uncle, and this has just been the sound of summer for me since 2016. Even though these fans are quite a gimmick of a product because of the two blades, these are very nice looking fans in my opinion, and they're very nostalgic because of that event. I'll tell the whole story on another video, but this is a very nostalgic fan to me. Here in the office, I have a Boston Harbor spinner. That looks like a Hampton Bay Grayton 1.5. Another great fan in here. This fan is still on the market today, and you can still buy as many of these as you want, which is a really good concept because I think most ceiling fans that are sold today are highly hideous. But this is anything but hideous. It's a nice old school design from the 90s, and I don't see a reason why this fan won't last for decades. It's just a great fan, great quality, and that's nothing to be said about stuff made today.